they bring me on to get you ready for lunch.
Yeah.
All right? Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. All right. Is lunch outside yet? They gonna give me the flag when lunch is outside. All right? Okay. Oh, I hope that ain't what I think it is. Oh my goodness. Oh, can you? Oh no! I'm like a vampire. He just showed me his Dallas Cowboys. I didn't mean to get y'all riled up talking about them, you know, that team. Yeah, I didn't mean to get y'all riled up. All right. So anyway, real quick, let me give you a little bit of background, a little bit of information. If you have questions, please feel free to ask me any questions you might have. How many people know about MANNA? Is anybody in the room kind of familiar with MANNA?
MANNA?
Okay, MANNA. So, we've been around for 35 years.
I didn't know that.
Primarily, we are in the District of Columbia. So that's where we're located, that's our base. Most of our funding is DC funding and private organizations that fund us. We built over 1,500 affordable housing dwellings in DC. And so there are three parts to us. One part is we are an affordable housing builder. We build affordable housing. That's the first part. The second part is we are the starting block for home ownership, education, and counseling. We are what we think is a very unique program because we think we are the only program that you can come to that will do all the heavy lifting for you to get you from start to keys. Okay? And what does that mean? Well, you see all these vendors in here? Whenever I come to an affair like this, one of the things I do is I talk to all the vendors. I find out what they have. What do they offer? We're constantly on the phone trying to find out what is in the community, what's new, what will help someone obtain home ownership. So our opinion is not based on us getting paid. We're a nonprofit. Our opinion is based on how do we get you from start to keys. That's the goal. So when you come in, the first thing we look at, like everybody looks at, is credit. Based on your credit will determine how far or how soon you can start the process for home ownership. So that's where we start. The second is we talk money. Because you're going to need money. I don't care what nobody says, you're going to need money in order to buy. So we look at your situation, we look at your household income, and then we would refer you to, like, the Urban League for HPAP funds. Or we would refer you to DC Opens Doors. Or we would refer you to Prince George's County CDA. Or we would refer you to Montgomery County HOC. Depending on what your needs are, depending on where you are trying to move, depending on what your vision of home ownership is, we try to start the foundation and lay the blocks to get you there. So that's the second thing. The third thing we do is we have an advocacy department that is constantly advocating for affordable housing. So those are the three components that make us up, and those are the three things that each and every day we're on the front lines in the trenches fighting for the person who doesn't have unlimited resources. Now, let's talk a little bit about affordable housing. And I'm going to stay kind of in DC because that's where we've been. Now, we're very happy to announce starting next month we're coming to Prince George's County. Okay, so we're very happy to announce that we will be up on Off-Road Wednesdays from 6:30 to 8 for our workshops, and we'll start then. We have flyers back at our table, so you'll get more information there. So we're really excited about that because what we're hoping is we can bring some of what we've done in DC for 35 years into the county. So just to let you know that. But now, affordable housing kind of works like this. Depending on resources and funds, and I'm going to use this example because I think this is a beautiful example, and it's a current example because it's happening right now as we speak. So we're marketing some 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath condos in Southeast DC. Sales price is $326,193. Now I want you to follow me on this. The sales price of the property is $326,193. And then you say, well, TC, that don't sound affordable to me. Right?
No.
Huh? But it don't sound affordable to me either. But DCDHCD is given a 15-year forgivable grant for $106,193. Hello? Because now you just went from $326,193 to $220. Right? Okay, that's better. Isn't that better? That's better. But hold on, I ain't finished yet. Because if you had come to MANNA, we're going to guide you to HPAC, and based on your income, you can get an additional $80,000. So now you subtract the 80 from the 220. Where are you? 160. 160? Is it 160? 140? 140, 160? How about this? How about this? How about cha-ching? Huh? Because that's affordable. Huh? Now you're looking at a mortgage less than what it costs to rent. Hold on though, I ain't finished yet. I ain't finished. Because you see what happens is this. You got to follow me on this. We started at $326,193, right? That's where we started. We moved on to $220. Then we moved on to $140. Right? So now your mortgage is based on $140,000. So at the anniversary of the day you turn the key, DHCD is giving you $7,077. Why? Because if you take that number and divide it by 15, if you say, I stay in the property 15 years, that 106 becomes yours. 15-year forgivable grant, that 106 becomes yours. But hold on. Remember that 80 you got from HVAC? Remember that 80? Yes. Guess what? You don't have to pay that 80 back until you sell or refi. Huh? Wow. So this is what we got. 106,193 sitting over here in the corner. All I got to do is live for 15 years and 6 months, and that's my money. Huh? Right? Huh? I got 80 from HVAC. They tell me the only thing I got to do is don't sell or refinance, and I ain't got to pay that back. sitting in a property that each year is gaining equity. Huh? Hello?
Hello.
That's a big cha-ching, cha-ching. Right? Huh? Because what I am now doing is I've taken this affordable housing unit and I have started to create a path to wealth. Yes, ma'am.
Is that program not coming out? He said December, but he didn't say December when.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we plan to do and what we're trying to do.
Okay.
So that is one form of affordable housing. Another form of affordable housing is someone, doesn't always have to be, see, because we tend to think, and this is true, we tend to think when we hear subsidies, we think government. Let me tell you something. It's a lot of private money out here. It's a lot of private money out here that has to go somewhere in order for these big corporations and companies to stay within the good grace of, I'm doing my part. So another form of home ownership is a grant reduces the price. So if a property costs $400 and you get a grant to take away $100, you're down to $3. Vice versa. So there are all different types of avenues, there are all different types of programs, there are all different types of ways that you can go out and get funding or at least get into play in reference to home ownership. What we have created in DC and what we do in DC is very, very unique because it has the backing of DC and DHCD. Can that same thing happen in Maryland? Sure. Who just came up before me and spoke? That's DHCD. So there are all types of different programs. What we're trying to do is we're trying to come in and say, okay, here's what we offer, here's our resume, here's what we've done in 35 years. Let's start to form a partnership and start to create affordable housing here. So to answer your question, the workshop starts in December. The goal is to, yes, try to duplicate or at least create some kind of affordable housing component. Not a giveaway, but to make housing affordable. Any questions? Yes.
What part of Southeast is
Anacostia. That's in Anacostia, that particular project. Now, you have in 2018 and 2019 in DC, you have about 100 to 120 affordable housing opportunities like what I just described coming online. I know 6 projects that are breaking ground as we speak this year. So those are just some of the opportunities that are here. Now, but what tends to happen sometimes is this. TC, I heard that I could buy me a house and I could get up to $20,000 from PG County. Now remember, Pam is not talking to MANNA. Pam is talking to TC. And TC don't know no more than Pam. But since Pam asked TC the question, TC got to give Pam an answer. Yeah, Pam, I heard the same thing. You know such and such, he a real estate agent, called. Pam calls. He said, yeah, you can do that, so on and so forth. Yeah, call this number. Pam calls the number. Well, I want to go see this house. That's fine. He goes, take you see the house. Or I want to go and see if I can get the money. That's fine. The problem with that process is Pam hadn't done no work. You see, we tend to want to get something, but we don't really want to put the work in. Because what I'm describing to you is not unique. I could go through each county and tell you different things. I could go through different type, like the gentleman right here at Fairway. I was just talking with him. He says he has 100% FHA. It's not unique, but everybody doesn't offer. FHA requires you have 3.5% of your own money into the deal. So it's a question of going out to do the work, to get the information, to understand the process. The table, back there, our MANNA table, those are our housing counselors, Pam, assistant director, Arisha, housing counselor, myself. We have a saying, don't put the cart before the horse. We don't want you to be a spectator. We want you to be a participant in the process, because the process wins. So if you do your homework, you see, I hear these stories all the time. Well, my agent this and my agent that. No, it ain't your agent, it's you. It's you. Because you want your agent. Well, where you want to live? Oh, I want to live in Southeast. No. I got a good one for you. I want to live in Woodmore. Oh, okay, no problem. What you want your monthly payment to be? $1,500. And then you get mad at your agent because you think they ain't doing their job because what you want does not exist. But if you did your homework, you could have a sensible conversation with your agent and it would go like this. Ideally, I would love to live in Woodmore, but I really know I can't afford to live but here, and here. The point that I'm trying to make is, this is what we offer. We offer you the knowledge, the understanding as to how the process works. We tend to hear things sometimes and not really pay attention. Everything that you hear that has something to do with money, always listen for these words before you hear the amount. Up to. See, because we lose the up to and we go right up, I can get this. And then when somebody says, no, you can't get that, well, why can't it? That's not what such and such said. You see, so being armed with the information and being armed with the knowledge and being able to know that, okay, this can work for me, this cannot work for me. Let me ask a question. I don't want no one in here to talk about themselves personally. But what do you think on an average your credit score has to be in order to obtain housing?
600.
600.
640.
640. 650. Anybody else? 650, 640, 600. Is that right? How many people in here think it's 600? You can just yay, nay, raise your hand, I don't care. Okay. How many think it's 640? 640. Okay. 620. Okay. All right. Don't look at me, I don't know. What y'all waiting on me to say something? I don't know. Wait, I'm coming. I get you. The reality is this. Most lenders would love for you to have 640 or better. Most lenders can deal with 620. Other lenders can deal with a lower score, but now you're getting into you better know what you're doing area. And that's key. I'm not saying it's good, bad, or indifferent. I'm just simply saying if you go below that, you better know what you're doing and who you are doing it with. But the difference is, real quick, and I'm going to get to you. The difference is this. It could be a 640. You could have a 620. And the lender will say, oh, okay, you good, you all right. But what they're not saying is, it's this little thing that's called an add-on. Because remember, they're packaging this, everybody's trying to make money. There's nothing wrong with this. All I'm trying to get you to understand is how the process works. Because if you understand how the process works, you can be what? A participant. And not a spectator. So, these are things that you need to learn. These are questions that you need to be able to find out. Another thing. Every bank, every lender, every loan company, all have special portfolio programs. You need to ask. I know 4 banks right now that'll take a 620 credit score, 620 credit score, right? No mortgage insurance, right? And give you $4,000 towards closing. Now, 620 credit score, but you better not have no late payments. You better not have been late within the last 24 months, because that bumps you out of the program. But it does exist. You follow me? It does exist. So the point that I'm trying to make is, what we offer, when we say we are the starting block, is no joke. Because what we offer is that roadmap, step by step, that you can take to go from start to keys. Yes?
You summed up a whole lot of things, right? One, you know, like we talking about, it always takes money, right? Always takes money. And the credit score, right? And there's been a lot of people that credit score been low. The lenders, the one that get the loans, get the money, you come out of pocket, pay them good money, they gonna work them papers out. A lot of people, I'm just saying, you have to look out for all that.
No. Well,
I'm not saying.
No. I understand. I just want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. That's
right. I'm not saying you do I'm saying there have been lenders that do that. If the credit is low,
Right.
you know, you have to look out for all them things. And like that's why you said that the taking courses and learning things, you know, and read about what you're reading about,
Right.
and knowing what you read about. Because when they do go into it, right, you know, that's when I learned about all that balloon.
Right.
You know, okay, you know, they keep everything stable instead of everything going sky high. That's how everything came out to a crash the first time.
Right. Right.
And that's all I'm speaking on.
Okay.
You know, and another thing, we ever had a workshop over?
Wednesdays. We're starting December. It'll be the third Wednesday, and we have flyers back there, but it'll be the third Wednesday of every month. You know where the old Strayer College used to be? And that building on Off Road, it'll be right in there.
Sure.
But we have flyers at the table.
When you first started, right? When I first come to start, I need time to work, you know, go to workshop and all that. They're giving them time, right, to do a lot of things, right?
Yes, it get well more than so. Two things happen here. So the first thing is, and back on the table, you have we have the flyer, but there are a couple things. So the first thing is, the first Saturday of every month, we hold a workshop in Ward 8 at the Ark. For those that know where that is, 1901 Mississippi Avenue. That's the first Saturday of every month. Now that workshop is primarily for the residents of Ward 8. Guests are always welcome, but that workshop is for the residents who live in Ward 8. The second Saturday of every month, we're at our home, MANNA. That's 828 Evar Street Northeast, right across from the Rhode Island Metro. That's all city. So we have people from, and this is how we got to the PG workshop. We have people from PG and all over the city coming to that workshop. Now we've added Prince George's County, and that will be the third Wednesday of every month. In these workshops, we have different speakers come in, we have different products and programs and people coming in talking about things that are related to home ownership, what's new, what's not new. So these are for you to be able to get an understanding as to what's new, what's going out. But the meat and the potatoes is done in the one-on-one counseling. Because in the one-on-one counseling is where we sit down and we lay that roadmap out. And based on that roadmap is going to tell you if you do this, and this, you should have keys in 4 months. If you do this, and this, you should have keys in 6 months. So that's how, so you get the both, you get the best of both worlds. You get the workshop and you get the one-on-one. Did I answer your question?
Sure, yeah. Okay. Then you say that you have to take classes, right?
Yeah.
Before you be able to get into a home. And you said one class, you can get into a home in 4 months, 6 months. But you have to, if I go to a workshop, there'll be credit towards me. It's just like we want to learn.
Yes, it's like you learn, but I think two things. How long it takes is up to you. It's going to be what your situation says. You know what I mean? Because it's not a one-size-fits-all. So how quick and how fast you want to do the heavy lifting is up to you. We're there to guide you, to help you, to support you, to point you in every direction that's going to get you there. But if it takes you 5 days to get one piece of paper, that's on you. You know what I mean? If you need this, and this, and I say you need this, and this on Monday, and you standing in my face on Tuesday with this, and this, guess what? Next week, you done moved on to another part of where that roadmap says you're going. But if you say, well, I'm going to send you this on Monday, and then you send it to me next month on Monday, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to sit right there until you move. So the time frame is what your credit, what your finance, what your motivation says. So we can go as fast as you can go, or we can go as slow as you can go. Doesn't matter to us. We've got people been in for 2. We got people right now that come religiously that are just waiting on affordable housing units to come, that are a year out. That's up to you.
I mean, it really does, it really will make a difference. But, you know, I take my time.
Right, I got
Because, you know, I got to build up that money. I got to stack that money, like you said. Finance, it takes. You know, learning the tools about how to get in there, you know, and
when you say stack the money, what do you mean? You mean
save.
For your month, for what? For your down payment?
Save. Save.
Yeah, I know, but for what? For your down payment?
Yes.
Okay. That is one part of it. The other part of it is understanding the resources that are out here to help.
Correct.
That's the other part.
Right.
But yes, part of the savings is part of what not only what we teach, but part of the savings is part of what you need to do just overall. As a matter of fact, I had this thing called Go to Philly. So you should get up on a Saturday morning. If you don't save and you want to learn how to save, you should get up on a Saturday morning, jump on Amtrak, catch a train to Philly. Get off the train, go to a savings, federal loan, or a bank that is not affiliated with a branch in D.C. Go in, tell them I want to open up an account. You open up the account, you tell them I don't want nothing but the routing number and the account number. I don't want no checks, I don't want no ATM card, I don't want no debit card. I want the routing number and I want the account number. You get back on Amtrak, you come on home. Monday morning, you go into HR department and say, I want you to now start sending $25 of my check to this account. And everybody in the class always said, well, why you gotta go to Philly? Because if you need $50 Sunday afternoon, you sure ain't gonna go to Philly to go get it. Right?
Yep.
And you know what's gonna end up happening? Before you know it, after about the 2nd or 3rd month, you're going to forget about it. Because it's just like taxes coming out. How many times now do you look at whatever to see, oh, well, this month I paid $23 in taxes. So, so anyway, but yes, we talk about savings, we talk about all of that. We also talk about posts. You know, because it's easy to get it, it's hard to keep it. So, you know, it's an ongoing process that you have to go through. But the point that I'm trying to make to you today is, until you exhausted all of the opportunities that are out there, you can't say you can't do it. Because there's plenty of stuff going on. Any other questions?
Can you share some success stories?
Yes. So, we have probably right now, we have 32 success stories. Because remember when we first started, I told you about the 326-193, right?
Yeah.
These 32 people, without our guidance, HPAC, DACD, without all of these things coming together, they would still be renters today. And would not have a clue as to how to maneuver through it. As a matter of fact, half the people didn't even know it existed. So when I look at 32 people, now the income ranges from 30,000 to you can't make over 61. So we're not talking about people that are making six figures. We're talking about people who are struggling paycheck to paycheck, that are making $30,000, $40,000, that can't afford to really pay the decent kind of rent that they want to pay, because a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom might cost $1,800, $2,000. They are now homeowners, and they are now homeowners in the community that they grew up in and they wanted to live in. Now, I'm going to tell y'all a stat. Now, this blew my mind. This really blew my mind. I had to do a report for HUD at the end of September. And in the report, I had to look at the buyers. Out of the 32 people, 27 were single African-American females under 30. And that's a wow moment. You know what I mean? That is a wow moment. But when you stop and you think, if all those things didn't come together, this would have never happened. And so that's why we hang our hat on being the starting block. Because we work tirelessly to find out what's out here and what's not out here. Because your situation is based on you as an individual, not everybody else. Thank you all for having me. Please visit the table.